So what's good, Straw Gang, and welcome back to another video. If you notice like a fan sound in the background, I have a heater on right now. It is currently, let me check the temperature real quick. I think it's like 1 degrees right now. Yeah, it's about 2-1, so it's very cold right now. I have a heater running so I don't freeze to death. But anyway, I just wanted to jump on here and talk to you guys about Warzones Meta and the spot that it's currently in, because obviously we know that right now it's not looking too bright for anti-cheat in this game. There's a small part of me that does believe they're working on one, or at least wants to believe that they're working on one, but I just, at this point, bro, I just don't think they are. I feel like they're just going to keep putting out these ban waves that kind of have an effect for a couple days, and people notice that lobbies kind of, you know, not having as many cheaters in them for like 3-4 days, and then the cheat sites come back up and everything starts going haywire again. And I feel like that's just going to be a continuous cycle, which is definitely hard to say, because I obviously, you know, as a lot of people, we don't want it like that. But, you know, on the bright side of things, and what we can be happy about right now is the meta of Warzone and how well the weapons are balanced right now. And the real reason I wanted to sit down and make this video is because I've been thinking about it for like the last week or so. I've just been thinking so often how good of a spot the game is with the meta, because at one point, I think we don't want to remember, but you know, you will remember back a couple months ago, well, not actually a couple months ago, 7 months into the year, probably like December, January, maybe February as well, the DMR, the MAC-10, the AUG, the FFAR, the M16, they are all weapons that I don't want to remember, a time of Warzone that I do not want to remember, and I do remember it here and there. And I think about where the game is right now and how diverse it is, how many different weapons you can use. You can use so many different guns right now. We've got the C58, we've got the FFAR, we've got the Krig, the AK-47, the XM4, the Bullfrog, the LC-10, the MP5, the MAC-10, you know, the nail gun, like so many viable weapons that work and they do their own thing. You know, I'm making videos on lots of different weapons. I did a top 5 SMGs video and I couldn't have been happier to do it because there was such a fun variety to pick from. I did like the Bullfrog, LC-10, you know, the guns I mentioned before, the MAC-10, the nail gun, the Cold War MP5. It's just such a huge variety, and not only is that good and healthy for the game and the player base itself, but also content creators like me who make videos surrounding weapons and classes and gameplays and all that type of stuff. Even though I'm, you know, kind of transitioning to doing this, you know, tips and tricks style videos. I talk about how to improve your movement, what's more important in Warzone. It's still good that the meta is so diverse because it gives people lots of different choices to use other than just being stuck with the same stuff. Because for me personally, and I know this would have been the same for other content creators as well, when I tried to make different types of videos back in the MAC-10 and FFAR era, I had so much trouble using any other weapon at close range because they were just so top tier dominant. Now the FFAR has always been a weapon that's only like close to medium range, but it just dominated everything else to such a high standard, or to such a high point where I couldn't use anything else. And then, you know, fast forward to now, I can pick up and choose so many different guns. I think the barrel adjustments and buffs for the Cold War assault rifles and LMGs, even though they have been nerfed now for some reason, was a really good choice because it made not only weapons that were already viable even more viable, but weapons that weren't previously viable finally viable. One of my favorite ones being the Cold War AK-47. That thing was always very bouncy and very difficult for me to personally use at range, and that's why pretty much no one used it. It was a very bouncy, unusable weapon past medium range. It did catch attention for being a secondary, like a support weapon with a sniper, the way the XM4 currently is. And now, you know, after this buff, using the Spetsnaz RPK barrel as well as the axial arms, it is finally a viable weapon that can match with the AMAX, it can match with something like the Krig and the FFAR, and it is finally like a top tier long range assault rifle, which I was hoping it would become. And finally it has. And what does actually make me kind of a little bit sad to think about is the fact that if we had a proper anti-cheat right now within Warzone, where I could go into my lobbies and play my games without having to second guess my deaths, Warzone honestly would probably be in the best spot it has ever been in, because cheating is the only issue right now in the game. Anyone else who argues that the meta is in a bad spot is just, I don't know, you're a fucking shitter, okay? I'm gonna put it out there because there's no meta that's been better than this. The game meta-wise has never been better than this. The meta has never been better. I will say it and say it and say it again. The variety and the huge range of weapons that you have to use right now is so diverse, especially if you are a sniper. There are so many sniper support weapons that you can choose from. I'll go over them again: the XM4, the Bullfrog, the LC10, the Cold War AK-47, the FFAR. Like, dude, you can use so many things right now for medium to close range, and then have that sniper for the long range gunfights and everything. And on the topic of cheating, there's like a new modded class right now. It actually brings me back to the golden days of COD and like Black Ops 1 and MW3, where you could have the modded God mode classes, you know, the invisible classes and the God mode classes. There's actually a new modded class that you can have a modder put on your account where you get 4 perks. So pretty much you get to have overkill while having ghost, which is super OP. There's a clip on it, a clip of it. I don't know if I can find it on Twitter. I'll try if I can remember who it was from. But yeah, I've got a screenshot of it. I'll put it up on screen, and that is pretty much the new thing with cheats, is that, or mods I guess you could say, is that you can have overkill while having ghost at the same time, which is super OP and really broken. And I'm just wondering, where will it end? Like, what will it take for Activision or whoever is in charge of the anti-cheat, whether it's Raven, whether it's Activision, I don't really care, but what will it take for them to do it? Do people need to be like flying around in vehicles and shit? Like, does it take actual completely game-breaking things for them to be able to actually put something in? But that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say. I don't want to drag this video on any longer than it needs to be. I just wanted to get on here and talk about the meta of this game and how diverse it is, and just the fact that, yeah, if we did have an anti-cheat right now and a proper working one that was really pushing these cheaters away, the game would be in a great spot right now. And I do hope for the future of Warzone and its longevity as a popular game, because I'm sick of having to second guess whether someone who killed me is just actually good at the game or they're cheating in some way, because, you know, unfortunately, someone isn't forced to use aimbot and walls at the same time. They can turn aimbot off and use walls and make it seem somewhat legit, I guess. But yeah, that's all I have to say for this video. I know it's a bit of a different one. Can't guarantee if there'll be like a gameplay class setup video tonight or a tips and tricks video. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. I'll stop here before I continue rambling. Drop a like if you did. Hit that red sub button down below with post notifications on, as well as I upload gameplays, class setups, tips and tricks videos, all that stuff surrounding Warzone. So thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great everybody, and I'm out.